Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For tracks, obviously.
On the lot.
He became steel resistant.
Guys, welcome to another podcast coming to you live from the Earthworks Hub studio. With me today, I have Jake Tayler from I&I Attachments. How you going, Jake?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me here.
No worries, man. No worries.
Be excited to be here. So.
Yeah. So you've made a bit of a trip to get here. What are you, about an hour and a half away, you were saying?
Hour and a half away,
So where are you guys based? I&I Attachments, where is that?
We're based on the Morning Peninsula in Tayler, little town down there. So
Yep.
we've got our setup down there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been there. The last time I went to Tayab, I think I bought a dirt bike from there
Yeah.
like 10 years ago, man. And it was a fair drive. I remember driving up there going, where am I going? It's like,
Yeah.
it felt like I was going in, it felt like it was a bit like country, but on the ocean sort of thing. Is that how you would explain it?
Well, it's the airfields there is the most attraction thing that's there. So,
Yeah.
you know, you got little sleepy Tayab, so it's a
Yeah.
good spot. But it's good now that we've got Peninsula Link and all the freeways that link straight up to it, so we can ship out from there pretty easy and quick now. So
Yeah.
she's coming along.
That's
Little
it,
Tayab.
man.
So
That's
there you
it.
go. That's where we are. Yeah.
All right. So just tell us a little bit, because in case someone doesn't know about I&I Attachments, tell us what is it, the company, what do you guys do, and then we'll talk about yourself as well, man.
All right, so I&I Attachments is an excavation attachments company that we specialise in excavators. That's basically it. So
Yep.
we've come up with a new idea with an attachment on the blade. So you guys probably might have seen it already on all the the promotion stuff that we're doing. So the iLoad, it's basically an attachment for your excavator, and we'll talk about it soon. So
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. So that attachment is that your main? Is that the main?
It's the main one.
main
Yeah. So
attraction,
we're just specialising in the one. So just something new, different, and that's basically what we're specialising in. Nothing else.
I love it, actually. I reckon it's a good idea. So just go. Let's get into it. Explain it a bit, and then we'll talk about yourself. So explain what is it's called the iLoad. Is that what you call
Yes.
it? As in eye, like an eyeball load.
iLoad.
Yep.
So
iLoad. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Not like Apple Eye.
no,
yeah.
iLoad, which is a play on words because it's I&I Attachments.
Yep.
So basically, what it is it's an attachment that goes onto your blade, and then it can also go into your hitch as well. But what it does is, the reason why we brought it out is because I'm in the excavation game myself.
Yep.
I own an excavation company, and basically carting two machines around for a job that can be done with one, and a machine that's not maximised to its full potential.
Yep.
And been in the industry for so long, since I was a kid. 4 years old, I was pulling levers with Dad.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so I'm always thinking, as we always are, what's a better way, and how can we make this better? So that's basically when we came up with it, and we've taken it from there, and it's sort of many different prototypes over the years, and got better, and come up with this final one, and thought it was too good to have for ourselves, so we've put it out to everyone now, and here we are talking about it. And it's it's taken off. So.
It has taken off. I see all your posts on Instagram and all that. Always, I was amazed by it. So what it is it's like basically like a huge, like a 4-in-1, but what would you call it? Like I don't know, like a skid steer bucket.
Yes.
A massive skid steer bucket that it can actually be attached to your blade. Like you hook your excavator blade underneath it, and
underneath the back of it. Yeah.
So essentially, your excavator almost becomes like a bit of a bobcat, I suppose, or a skid steer.
Yeah.
Is that how you would explain it? You reckon?
Yeah, it's basically that. So I sort of can explain it sometimes as a bit of a carryall. You know, like it's on the tractor. But yeah, it is. It's basically, you can use it to many advantages for what you want to do.
Yeah.
Big application that I use it for is carrying my attachments around site, and because do a lot on rural properties, a lot of distance, and it's just when you find yourself using it, I don't go anywhere without it, you know now. So it's just you just get used to using it, and it's just one of those things that you're just like, righto, should have had one of these a long time ago. So that's where so that's that.
Yeah, because I know you're right. So it's very handy, I suppose, to carry all your all your spare buckets and that? Because you can
Yep.
fit like five buckets or something in there, is there? Or,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if
Yep.
you've got a range of buckets on there, and what size machines do you make these for? So is it just for the one size machine, or do you make it for different sizes?
Now we make them all for different sizes, so all the way
Yep.
from 2.5 ton up to 10 ton. So that's our range that we're specialising in.
Yeah,
So,
cool. So
yeah.
you can attach that to your blade, lift it up with the dozer blade,
Yep.
and then you can have all your buckets sitting in there,
Yep.
and you can start tracking, and you don't have to always come back and forth looking for one bucket
No.
or one
No.
ripper. It's just all sitting in there. You
Yeah.
can drop that down with everything in there,
Mhm.
and then you can continue working. And if you need something, you take it back out, put it
Yeah.
back in, and then carry it around again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome. So, look, yeah, using it myself and being in the industry, you know that time is the biggest thing that you need to save. So
Yeah.
swinging around, you're digging or whatever, you're digging a bit of a trench and you go, oh, geez, I want my ripper, so you spin around and you go, oh, no, it's over there, and it's over the other side of another trench, and then you got to go over there and then grab the ripper that you pulled a root out from last time. This, you just have it on the back and you just got digging 300 trenches or whatever, and you spin around and you go, oh, there's your ripper, and you put your bucket in the back there, then you rip and hook it on, bang, bang, and then you just untouch, detach, and hook back up, and it's just one of those things that just basically to save time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, time is money, man. When you got your own business, especially, yeah, time is money.
That's what it is. So that's what we've been doing. We thought, this is too good.
Yeah.
Let's put it out to everyone, and things. How expensive things are these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can pretty much do this all by yourself. You don't need another machine. You don't need an extra skid steer or whatever on the smaller jobs. I mean, your skid steer does have its purposes in many applications. I love a skid steer, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, it's just those, you can save a lot of time with it. So, yeah, that's basically it, mate. Yeah.
That's it. So I noticed as well, so on the sides of the bucket, you've got like a few like cutouts or holes. Is that for, what's that for?
That's your chain down lugs. So,
Yeah.
being on if you got a tag trailer or whatever you got. So what basically I did was put all your buckets in, and you can chain down your buckets inside the bucket itself, right? And then the other chain lugs, you can pull the actual whole bucket down to the tray on your deck. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you can chain it all down straight onto your tag trailer or your back of your truck or whatever you got.
Yeah.
So it's all secure and all in one spot.
I mean, if that's also hooked onto your blade, I suppose in another way, it's also an extra bit of security to hold the machine down as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you leave that attached. You leave that huge bucket attached to the front of the blade, lock it all down, and it's another way of locking the machine down.
Yep.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So
There you go.
Yeah.
And then can you carry soil and stuff with it? Like, can you use it to actually like go into a pile of soil or gravel or something, and then lift up your blade and track with it? Is that is that the intention as well?
Yep. So move more material around site. But yeah, basically just drive into a pile. You can even sit in front of the pile. You can pull it straight into the blade with your bucket on. Fill your bucket up, swip round, take off. You're taking 4 times as much as what you would normally carry in your bucket. Just by yourself. So yeah, many applications.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I think it's a good idea. So you're saying, so basically you've got your own excavation business, yeah? So that's how you came up with the idea for yourself?
Yep.
So tell us a bit about that. How'd you get into excavating? So I know you said, from young.
Yep.
So have you always, did you say your dad had a business already, or?
Yeah, so grew up operating machines. I think they were pulling the first levers when I was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dad was in tree lopping. Went from there and all up excavators and stuff, doing all logging.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. And then Dad sort of sold up the business, and when I got around about 22, and then I ended up going, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Bought my first machine and went out and started there, and started from there, and now I'm 34 and still going. And when you're out in the job, you're like, righto, there needs to be a better way here, or start to do something else, and this is what we came up with. So
cool.
Yeah.
So do you still do that? You still do excavating and that as well?
Yeah.
You still got the business running as well?
Still got the business running. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and then I is just like another side hustle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically. Yep.
Yeah.
So who knows where it's going to go to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what sort of work in that do you mainly do?
a lot of rural construction
Yeah.
with the excavation company.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a lot out in the farms, and so that's what we bit of landscaping and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, that's what we mainly do.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of focus has been this I&I attachments at the moment. So she's been taking up a fair bit of time. A lot of you guys are wanting answers and wanting quotes, and
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, a lot of talk about that. So that's
Yeah, I've had
it's good. It's exciting.
yeah, well, on the live podcast and that, a lot of guys have been talking about it. Yeah, they're asking questions and they're saying, "Have you seen that new bucket and this
Yeah.
and that?" So there's been a bit of talk.
Yeah.
What about other products? Do you do anything else, or is that your main sort of focus?
That's our main focus for now. So
Yeah.
specialise in that, and then got a few other things that I would like to get out there, but we're still working on prototypes, and yeah, so
We've got some things coming up.
we got some
obviously.
things coming.
Yeah.
You know, we got some pretty cool stuff coming actually. Bit innovative,
Yeah.
bit different, and another thing, just a time saver. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, good. And what's been like the hardest challenge in promoting this new product? Like, what's been some of the hardest things that you're finding trying to get this new thing out?
Challenges that I've had through to now, time, communication with people, back and forth with time. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been pretty good.
I suppose time would be for you because like you're still running your excavation business,
Yeah.
and then still trying to get this going, and then
Yeah.
there's that. I suppose it's the same as me when I was doing this podcast. I was still running my business, excavation business, and then trying to do this. And it's like you say, it's time. Like
Yeah.
you do your day's work in your machine, then you got to quote jobs,
Yeah.
and then you got to come home, spend some family time or whatever,
Mhm.
and then on top of that, you got to try and work on your little side hustle, and then
Yeah.
that starts to take off, and then
Yeah.
you're like. I can imagine you'd be getting calls, you know, give me a quote on the attachment.
Yep.
What size machine, what
Yeah.
this, what that. Then you got to source everything. I imagine, yeah, it wouldn't be easy, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's basically the biggest thing at the moment. You know, just things take time, and I'm sort of a bit impatient as well at the best of times. Where I'm
Yeah.
like waiting for people to get back to me and things. You know, so that's you think it's going to take a week, but it actually takes 4 weeks, and then before you know it, you're already 6 months down the track, and you're like, righto, what's happening?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can
that's
imagine.
just the world we live in. So everyone's busy.
Yeah. Yeah, time would be tough, yeah. And then making the product, shipping the product,
Yeah.
getting all that sorted too, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, we're pretty good at that. We're sort of running about 4 weeks lead time at the moment.
Okay.
So trying to get that down as much as we can, trying to hold some more stock for everyone and you guys out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're not too bad with that, but yeah.
I suppose that's the other thing. Yeah, you don't want to hold too much stuff, yeah, because it's just all like dead money. I suppose they say if it's just sitting there.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. We build it and it's out the door anyway, so we can't really trying to keep up with stock.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what about building it and stuff? How did you get the skills to build stuff, like to weld and create things? Did you just pick it up, or I don't know? How'd you come around with that?
Well, bit of a backstory there. So why I came up with I&I attachments, Dad, he taught me how to weld when I was a young fella. And I was an old arc welder and welding a bit of steel, and he was teaching me how to weld for the first time and lifted the visor up and he said, "Righto, now grab the hammer and tap the slag off, see what your weld's like." And tapped the slag and a bit of iron flicked up and went in my eye.
Oh, really?
Hot blazing iron, like straight off the weld, and went straight in my eye. And still to this day, I've actually got a bit of a scar in my eye. And when I look, I can see the scar, like especially when I'm reading. Yeah, it's a pain.
Far out, man. So hence the name Iron Eye.
Yeah.
How's that, man?
So there you go.
There you go, man.
Yeah. And then also, you need a bit of an eye to move the iron around, So it was a bit of a play on all words, but there's a story there, and that's how that came along.
Man, that's pretty cool, man. So the name's got a proper, true meaning to it.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That's pretty cool.
So,
yeah. I've had I can't even imagine what that would have been like, because I had a tiny piece of steel going in my eye once. I can't remember. I think I was grinding or something, and a little bit shot out and went into my eye. And then I sort of left it for a little bit because I was like, oh, it's annoying, but I think it might have just been a scratch and it's fallen out. But it actually was stuck in there, and it started to rust in there. Ooh. And then they're like, no, you got to get this out now.
Yeah.
And there was only like maybe I was only in there for a few days. So I remember I went in and they had to numb my eye and then have it open while it was numb and then actually pick it out with tweezers, man.
Nasty.
And I was like, oh my god, the doctor's playing with tweezers in my eye, and he pulled it out and he was saying it's actually starting to rust a little bit.
Yeah.
So and he goes that if you leave it in there, your eye will be stuffed.
Buggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine a weld in there, man.
Yeah, so welding sort of stuck.
Yeah.
It's still stuck with me to today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But,
Make sure you're wearing a... Oh, did you say you had the visor on or off?
Yeah, I had the visor on, but it was an old school visor, and you flip the bit that takes a weld out, and there's a glass lens on the other side of it. But the glass lens was taken out because,
Yeah, that's how we
farmer spec, it was just sort of smashed out,
That's
It's
how
got
we
dirty
roll.
one day, you don't need this thing, chuck it out.
Can't see through it anymore. Get rid of it.
Yeah, useless thing, what do you need that for?
Yeah. So I noticed that you've got a Kubota U55 in
Yep.
a lot of your videos.
Yep.
Is that your primary machine? Do you have other stuff or just that one?
Yeah, we've got other machines, in the
All right.
excavation business, but this is our primary machine, so that's probably one of my favourite machines as well. Love
Yeah?
the Kubotas, yeah. It's just a good all-rounder, just a
Yeah.
mid-size, and it's one of the most popular sizes that they sell. Your 1.7s and your 5 tons, that's
Yeah.
the most popular. Everybody loves them
Yeah, they do.
because, they're efficient and they do the best work and you can bang for buck.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I remember when you first came in, we were looking at some of the hats and you noticed the Kubota one.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was. I'm a big Kubota fan for the smaller machines, definitely.
Yeah.
It's probably I'm probably biased because they were close to where I live. They were the first sort of machines I started buying, so they became sort of sentimental. So
Yeah.
it's funny you sort of keep going back
Yeah.
to the same guys because they were good to you at the start. So
Yeah.
it becomes hard, but they are actually good machines too, though. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just that. It's
Pretty
actually,
basic,
Yeah.
reliable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So strong machine, and that's what. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
bang for buck.
So that machine, I noticed that. Is that? Do you think do you choose that more for your marketing because that's what most people have, like 5-tonners, and that's what the bucket probably suits.
That's my
the
thought
best?
process behind it, and I just basically know that that's the most popular machine. A lot of people have got it, and that's it's a good all-rounded machine that people can sort of see themselves with it.
Yeah.
It's that's basically what it is. So
Yeah. Would you say that's your most popular size that you're selling for? Like that attachment, that bucket, is that selling mostly for them?
Yes.
For the 5s?
yes, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely probably say 70% of the market. The rest from 3-tonners, fair few 3-tonners and 3.5-tonners. We're getting up to the 8-tonners now, so people are starting to see it and get the 8-tonner ones as well. So
Yeah.
pretty cool, big bit of get,
Yeah,
big
well,
bit of
yeah.
kit, but
Once
it's,
it starts getting bigger, I imagine if you had to make one for a 20 or something, it'd be a huge bucket, man.
Well, I've had blokes ask me for them, and
Really?
I'm thinking, I don't know, that's going to be a big bit of gear. But anyway, the attachments, the clip-on bit's all different, but who knows? We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
We're working on a few different things. We're trying to make some ones for bigger ones, but just trying to make them safe. That's the most thing.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a chance it can fall off while you're tracking? Like, can that bounce off, or have you made something to sort of definitely make sure it doesn't come off? Like,
look, there is depending. It's all depending on what terrain you're going over and what your application is for it.
yeah.
There is anything's possible, as we know, out in the site, and you just got to take precautions and make sure you got all your stuff
Yeah.
I's dotted, T's crossed.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
no matter what it is, you just got to be careful out there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose you can always stuff something up. And what about the weight of it? So once you've got all your buckets in there, just say so you've attached the bucket to your blade, you put all your attachments in, lift up the blade and start tracking. Does it make the machine, like from your experience in it, does it make it a little bit more like rocky or unstable, or like is there a chance? What about for people that have not a zero swing? If they've got like a tail, can they swing into it and hit it? Or not really, because it's beyond the blade.
conventional, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, for me, for what I find, I love it because it balances the machine out. It actually gives it more weight, more low center of gravity.
Oh.
So it actually it helps the machine, especially even if you're just digging and you don't want to have your blade down. You want to be more have your blade up and you're digging a trench or whatnot. You know, you have sometimes you've got a bit of a hard ground and you've got to have your blade at the front end and then dig in front of it because you've got hard ground or else it tips the whole machine up.
Yes.
This you have it on the back and you've got the buckets in the back. Adds that counterweight to it and then you can actually dig properly and you're not having the blade in front of you.
That's actually good, yeah.
So there's that application as well. Yes, look, if you do load up the bucket at the actual eye load at the front on your blade, and then you load up your bucket as well, and then you swing around the front, and then you put your bucket all the way out.
Yes.
And you've got your blade full. Yeah, of course you're going to be tipping. But look, you've got to. You got to counterweight for that. It's like as well. You fill your mud bucket up, and you're over the side of the tracks, and you got it full of whatever you got, heavy clay. And you go out the side. Of course, you're going to tip it over.
Yeah.
You got to use a bit of common sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, for when you're it definitely. I know that if I want to pick up something a bit heavier at the end, like on with the grab, or you want to pick up a tree or something like that, or you load up the back of it, and then you pick up the stump or whatever it is, and you know that you can track as far as you want. You're not going to get fall in holes and tip over and all that sort of stuff. So it definitely.
So you can use it as a bit of a counterweight. You could even load up some dirt or, like you say, mud or whatever in the bucket, spin around, and then work from the other side. Exactly, and then use it as a counterweight. I like that. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
multi uses.
Multi
uses, man.
Yeah.
And when you make them, what are they made of? What sort of steel do you guys use for that?
All engineered steel. So we've got all engineered drawings and all of that. So she's not just made out of a garage somewhere where it's you just got to. Yeah, no, we've all done all of our checks and specs, and she's all up to date and all on grade. So.
Oh, beautiful, man.
So, yeah.
And you can use it as a bit of a skid steer, I suppose. Can you put it down, put the blade down, and then track forward and scrape with it and stuff? Have you?
Yeah.
Can you do that stuff as well?
Absolutely. Yep. So, landscapers love it. I know myself love it, especially if you get material dropped off. Your topsoil or mulch or anything like that, you can just drive straight in the pile, lift it up as you go, fill the whole bucket full, and you can back blade with it. You can actually use it as blokes have been using it for a bit of a smudger bar, and because it's so wide, you're leveling off all the ground, and so. Yeah,
we'll find ways. Yeah, we'll
find
ways.
Oh, yeah.
If it's going to make it easier, we'll be like, I'm using that.
Yeah. You see a bit of an opening there, sort of using your 12 on your bucket. You use it whatever size we've got on the blade there. Your size machine, but she's wider, it's bigger, it's going to make it done, quicker.
Yeah, that's true. And also, how wide do you usually make them? Do you make them to the width of the blade, or do you make them bigger? Like how do you do them? Yeah, what's the size?
Make them to the width of the blade. You don't want them bigger than the blade because, one, you can catch on things, you back and back. When you're tracking through areas, you got to make sure that you're going to hook on stuff, and if you've got something hanging out, you're always prone to nick something or get hooked on something. As we know. So having the size of the blade is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. No, good. I reckon they're a good concept, man. Very, very good. Hey, did you know that Earthworks Hub is more than just a podcast? On our website, you can advertise your business in the directory, see the latest news, and get discounts from our partners. You can also become a member on our Patreon, where you'll enjoy podcasts with video, exclusive content, and behind the scenes, webinars, and chat with other members in the forums. For more info, go to www.earthworkshub.com.au. So tell us what's in the. I know you probably can't tell us everything, but have you got stuff in the pipeline? Where do you see the company going? Yeah, so I know you've got your business for excavating. Do you see yourself moving into I&I as a full-time gig, or what are you thinking for the next 5 years, whatever?
Yeah, good question. Look, thinking moving into I&I attachments to full-time. We're getting a fair bit of interest and pretty fast growth. So we've got a fair bit from New Zealand, even the US, and our main focus for now is Australia.
Yeah.
And we're going to specialise in that and just focus on Australia for now. So that's probably for the next couple of years.
Yep.
And keep growing it, build our stock up more, and see where we go from there after a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you do. So you supply to all of Australia. So if someone
Yep.
in Perth or whatever wanted one, they could get
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yeah,
Cool.
we're shipping all around. So down to Tassie,
Yeah.
New South Wales, and Queensland. The guys are booming up there, so there's plenty going up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah. So
So-
people are jumping on it. Yeah. Do you ever get people like trying to poach your idea? Do you get guys asking you questions and you're thinking, hang on, why is he asking me all this? Do you get that? You would, yeah.
On the daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the daily. But look, everyone's having a go. Everyone's having a crack, and which is fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a very fast paced world, and you got to be up to date with it, and
Yeah.
see something, you got to jump onto it. But look, yeah, no, we've got all of our stuff all in the background there, all design rights, and we've got all of our stuff there. So look, you know, we've done all of our stuff we can do, and
Yeah, you've done it all the proper way, I suppose. So they can try and mimic it or whatever, but
yeah,
it's not the same. Yeah.
nah,
I can imagine. Yeah, I imagine a lot of guys be like just pretending to want to buy, but ask you a lot of questions so they can make one. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
No, well, there's a bit in it. It's not a 5-minute job, you know. And we all think about like that because we're all, you know,
Yeah.
pretty hands on. We're all blokes that are hands on. Like, we just made that ourselves.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I do the same thing, you know. But
Yeah.
the price point where we can make it and we can build it, you're better off to go to work and just do it, you know.
Yeah.
Pay for it.
And
And
leave-
that's what
leave
I
it to-
look at as well.
Yeah, that's
You know,
you better
you
off to leave it
you
to the professionals, mate. Leave it to you guys. Yeah.
yeah, how do you know, you can't compete with it, and you do it day in, day out, and it's just done right, so
Yeah, that's a good point
you
actually.
can't
Yeah.
compete with that stuff. Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'm finding that I try and make stuff, and by the time I stuff around, get it wrong, then have to go fix it, do something else.
Yeah.
And like, could have just went to work.
And then it breaks, and
Yeah.
then, you know, like, bloody muck around here, I should have just,
Could have went to work, made my money, and bought it, and it would have been done.
Yeah.
And I've got it and start working with it, and it's done.
yeah.
Yeah, we do that in our field, especially. What I find is we think we're going to save a buck
Yep.
by making it ourselves,
Yep.
and then we fabricate it like crap, and then
Yep.
have to go and buy it anyway in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
So then you've spent more money than you should have anyway. Yeah. So when you're tracking, can you tie a hammer into that?
Right now?
You know what I do when I not now because I haven't got the machines anymore, but when I did, like on my 5-tonner for example, I used to it was a pain to carry the hammer around always.
Yeah.
Like go and come back and grab it, and then so what I used to do is I used to chain it to the blade,
Oh, yeah.
put a chain around there, wrap it, and then lift up the blade and carry it.
Yeah.
So this attachment could actually be good. You can lay the hammer in there as well.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you want to carry your hammer with you to a section, instead of getting out wrapping it,
Yep.
you just pick up the eye load because you don't have to do anything. Yeah, you just track up
just
to
drive,
it.
bang. Yep.
Yeah,
Hook
you
it
track
up.
up, hook it up, put
it
the
up.
blade under it, lift,
Yep.
and then you can drop the hammer in there.
Yep.
And then you can carry your hammer to wherever you need to, and then drop it down and start
Yeah.
working. And when you need the hammer, take it out.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
a good idea.
Yeah, and the reason I started doing that actually is I started because I used to carry my 5-tonner in the back of the tipper.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to just chain it to the blade so I can go up the ramps and the hammer's already in there with me. So I don't have to like
Yeah.
reach down to the ground, get the hammer and put it in.
Yeah.
It's already on the machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the reason I really started it originally.
Yep.
And then it was just like, oh, we can carry it around site like that. We can carry it on the tag later.
Yeah.
And then it sits on the blade, on the tag, and it's chained to it, so you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
So there you go. So you can actually use this, the eye load to carry your hammer even.
Yep.
You know? So or even augers if you've got drills.
Drills, augers, yeah.
You can put all your augers in there as
Yep.
well.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go,
So-
man. Actually, that's another thing you can do because they're the things that a lot of people carry, especially when you're in your own little business and you do multiple things. Like we're talking about landscaping. I used to carry my augers, so I'd have to carry the drive, and I used to put all that in the mud bucket and try and carry the drive
Yeah.
with the actual drills in there and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get the eye load, you can actually load all that into the eye load, lift it up, carry it with you, and still have your muddy at the front,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and other buckets in the muddy
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, it's grouse. And then when you're traveling along, like if you got to clean the track up that you're going down, or you know you got to do a little bit of this or that, you don't need to tip out all that stuff
Yeah.
and then fix that bit up and then re-pick it all back up because it's on the back. You know, it's there. Bang, you put it in there. You go down. You tidy up a few things along the way as you go, and you can do a few jobs, and then you get down to the other end because you planned your trip out.
Yeah.
You know, especially with my job, you've got to plan stuff out because you're traveling 300, 400, 500 meters sometimes
Yeah.
because, your job's all the way up the other end of the property.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to go anywhere empty-handed because it takes way too long to bloody track up the other end.
That's so good, man. Yeah, because I mean, we were talking about just carrying your buckets in there, but you can actually, you can carry everything. You put your augers in there, the auger drive motor. If you want to carry a hammer, whatever. If you want to carry, if you're doing retaining walls, you can carry sleepers in there.
Yep.
I suppose you can use it to carry cement bags.
Yeah.
Whatever, like whatever you need.
Yeah. Fence posts and stuff. Fence contractors these blokes have been putting the rammer on the front of the excavator and the rammer post and got the post on the back.
Yeah.
Of the excavator, so in the eye loads as well.
In the eye load, yeah. I'll tell you what.
Yep.
There's actually more than just carrying buckets. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start to think about it, it's actually very, very handy.
Yeah.
What else? I imagine there's other things people would carry. I suppose. What else? Yeah, you could carry tools if you need to carry all your. At the end of the day, if you want to, when I've done retaining walls in the past, I suppose you can carry throw all your drills, your electric drills, all your hand tools and that.
Yep.
Throw it all in that.
Yeah.
And then track down and put it all in the car and with the ute, and then come back, grab something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, less trips.
Yep.
So it's all about time.
100%. 100%. And, you haven't got a massive outlay or a massive cost as opposed to running, that secondary machine. And the jobs are getting smaller, and that's the thing, Jobs are getting smaller, your access is getting smaller, and it's just, you got to be more efficient. And the price of fuel these days, running 2 machines and another worker. you know. So getting back to a, more of a solo trip that does all applications.
Yeah. And and we talk about time being one of the bonuses of it, but also when I think about it, safety, man. You're not lifting things like I was saying. If you want to carry all those cement bags or posts, you just load them all in there instead of carrying them all up one by one.
Yeah.
Down 200 meters. So you also got you got safety. You're back. And then I was going to say, so I forgot we did talk about how you can use it on the blade, and you also mentioned you can actually. It's got an actual hitch on it as well, so you can lift it and use it as a bucket.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know if we mentioned that. So you can use the actual bucket on your hitch. You can lock it on and use it.
Yes. Yep. So just have it on your blade. Put your bucket down, your blade. I'm not explaining it right.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, there you go.
Put your blade down. Bucket comes off.
Yep.
Grab your quick hitch, chuck it straight on. Whatever you got in there, you can tip it out, hold it in, whatever. She's right to go.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, like, how do you actually get the material out once you've scooped it?
Yep.
So you scoop the material with the eye load, you get to where you want, and then how do you tip it out? Yeah, so that's what you do. You actually hitch onto it.
Yep, hitch onto it. So and then you just you got your other bucket full or whatnot. You tip that out. There's a full bucket there. And then you unhook your bucket, put the other one on, and that's about normally 3.5 to 4 buckets in that one, if you want to load it right up, depending on what you're carting around.
Yeah.
Especially doing mulch and backfilling for all the garden beds and things that we do.
Yeah.
You carry 3-4 times as much. So yeah, awesome. But then also as well, you got your buckets all in there. You lash them all down, and you're packing up at the end of the day, and you just put it on your hitch, put it straight on the back of the trailer, on the back of your truck. And then just lash it straight down, you're right to go. So, many applications where you
do it all in one trip.
Yeah.
And I suppose, even if you're loading into the back of a tipper or something, if you're carrying your machine in the back of a tipper and you've got the eye load attached to the blade and all the buckets chained into the eye load, you're just going up the ramps, throw the ramps in, close the tailgate, and you're done.
Yeah. So, well, the other thing is, if you don't want to go up the ramps with it on. I've actually just left it off to the side, and you just track the machine straight up in with nothing on it, so you don't have that weight on your ramps, and you don't have any of that. And you just have it to the side, and then you just grab down, hook it on, pull it straight up in, and then it's in the back of the truck. All your attachments all in one.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of uses.
You're not using your back to throw those last augers in, or get down and put slings on them and not trying to pull them in. And
because that's the worst, man. That is the worst.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Yeah, and the last thing you want to be doing is trying to and then the bucket starts the bucket always falls to the side as you're trying to grab that one bucket to put
Mucks
it in.
around and,
And then
it
you
jams
can't-
up in there and you're trying
Yeah.
to shut the tailgate and you need 20 more mil.
Yeah, yeah, I think we've all been there, man. And then you think it's all good, you go to close the tailgate, it doesn't want to close for that, like that. When
Yeah.
you want to take it all out, unpack it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man. It's not,
The joys.
yeah, the joys, man, the
Yeah.
joys. And I think, yeah, people coming up with ideas like what you've just done. The good thing is, I suppose, you're actually in the field, so you've made it to make your life easier.
Yeah.
And now you're actually selling the ideas. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's not like you've just been sitting in an office somewhere and just thought of an idea and thought, I'll make it. It's actually hands-on, made for it. It's purpose-built.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. No, she's been in the field for a few years. I've done
Yeah.
a few different prototypes and
Yeah, how long has it been going for? I didn't even ask you that. Did I ask you that?
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has it actually been going for?
So we've only been to the market for 6 months,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But 2 years has been in the backgrounds and, we've been doing different prototypes and different things and making it adjustable and all this sort of thing. So, yeah, and we've come down to this one and now we've taken it to you guys and, yeah, she's out there and we're
So it's still pretty fresh on the
trying
market.
to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still pretty fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been around for a while, but yeah, the way it comes up on Insta and the way we talk now, I feel like it's been out for ages. You know?
Yeah.
But it's still only 6 months, so it's still pretty fresh. But like you say, you've been working on it in the
Yes.
background. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah. No,
So
good, man. A
nice.
good concept. Good concept. Yeah. I think if you make things purpose built and you're actually making it because it makes your life easier, it's going to be easier to sell because if it's happening to you, it's going to be happening to other people. So
Yeah.
if you can make it easier for someone,
Yeah. Yep.
just do it. Yeah, there you go, man. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
So all the machines that you've got, what have you got, man? What sort of machinery in there do you have? So you said you got the 5.
Yep.
What other things have you got?
Got a 20-ton Hitachi.
Okay, nice.
Got an old Samsung 22-ton as well,
Samsung, man,
She's
yeah.
an old, she's good though.
Yeah.
And then we got a 4.8 as well.
Okay.
Kubota.
Are you 48 as well? Yeah, the
U48.
Kubota one. Yeah,
Yep,
I used
yep.
to have those. Yeah, they're
Got one of
good.
them.
Yeah.
Track skid steer Kubota SVL 75, and then we got a New Holland Bobcat as well. What's that? That's a LS 85.
Probably, yeah. Probably is,
Think
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That's on wheels. And then a couple of trucks as well.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So it's enough to
It's enough. It's
to be
enough.
knocking around and then
Yeah.
buy so I know as well.
Yeah, true, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good that you got variety though, because you can do anything with that. The combos that you've got, you can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like you say, if you're out in the rural area,
Yeah.
you do dams and stuff as well, or
Yeah.
yeah, so a bit of everything.
Yeah, dam clean outs, cattle tracks. We've got fences and, cattle yards and stuff that we do as well and all that sort of concept. So
What about, do you use like GPS and stuff or anything like that, or are you still old school?
still old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we
laser level
grab the
and-
laser out and
Yeah.
with our sort of stuff, it's pretty, it's not every single day we use it,
Yeah, yeah. It's
So-
not like overly technical stuff. Yeah.
It's a lot of turnover, like a lot of to fit up. How expensive GPSs and stuff these are these days. A good bit of kit, but for us for outlaying that sort of money, it'd be a bit much.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're not finding that you need it, I suppose until you need it, then just keep going the way you are.
Yeah. And I actually haven't used it.
Yeah.
I want to use it. I reckon it'd be. I've seen some of your videos where you're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
around with it. Looks
Yeah.
like a good bit of
Because
kit.
I'm the same as you, man. I didn't get to use it that much. Like I
Yeah.
never really got to use it. So for me, it's like every time I go and jump on and do those videos, and I'm actually like having a good go because I haven't used it that much either. So
Yeah.
it's amazing what it can do, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Komatsu Dozer, the Komatsu D71 I drove recently.
Saw that. That's cool. bit of
full
gear.
automatic, man. I can't
Yeah.
believe that. I was like, all I did, put it in auto, put the hands up, and just make sure it's going straight. That's it.
Yeah.
Just follow the lines on the screen, and it does everything.
I
I can't
know.
believe that. That's
Yeah.
the way it's gone. Crazy,
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy.
No,
So-
that's the world. That's the future, the world we live in. Yeah, it's all getting pretty tech.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just gonna sit in there and pretty much have to choose your radio station soon.
That's all it is. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It'll pretty much do it all for you.
That's what I said to the guy, the guy that was helping me out for the video, the sales guy here, and I said to him, so you just basically bring a pillow and that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, basically.
Try not
yeah.
to fall asleep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I suppose, yeah. There you go, man. Yeah, technology, man. That's the way it's going. Yeah, it's definitely going to make life easier.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will make it that. Sometimes there's that argument about is it going to make things too easy and people are going to lose the need to have the skill, to still do things themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yet to find out.
Yeah. I think because if you've learnt everything without GPS and that, and then you learn it, I suppose then you've already got the skill.
Correct.
So you have to. But I suppose if you're a guy that's just started straight out on GPS and that, and then they say to you, oh, you got to use no GPS and start doing, just cut all this by eye, I don't know if they'll be able to do it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Definitely fast adapting, fast evolving industry.
Yeah.
Well, in every industry.
Yeah.
But, we're going to see some cool stuff come out, I reckon.
Yeah.
Definitely some cool stuff. But we have to. You got to get innovative and
True.
all of that. You got to keep up with the times. And
Yeah.
I know, especially, myself, got to keep up with the times and know what's going on in the industry and see what's out there. Because if you're not up with it, you're going to lose out pretty quick because someone's got a better machine or a better something out there that is going to get the job done quicker and faster.
Yeah.
And if they can get it done quicker and faster, you're going to lose every time.
It's true. It's true.
That's
And that's like you're saying for your attachments. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really keep an eye out. And do you go to any of the shows and that to have a look at or expos and things to look at what other people have come up with or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been to a fair few and looked at all the different concepts and cool stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll be at the shows. We're going to be going to the shows soon and doing all of that.
Oh yeah, we're going to see you guys out at some of the expos.
Yeah.
So you're
So we'll be there soon and
get a stand and all that sort of stuff.
Start getting a stand and being able to talk to everyone and have a yarn. So
nice.
yeah, it'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So big things coming, huh? Iron eye attachments, man. Big
Yeah.
things coming. There you go.
Yeah, we're having a crack.
What do you think about all that, like electric machines and that? Do you reckon it'll happen? Do you reckon it's going to kick off? Or
Well, they say that to me, the guys, they go, oh, you're going to be out of work soon, Jake, those electric machines and automatic machines, you're going to be out of work soon. And I said, oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. I'm going to be the first one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one. I said, I'm going to be down at the coffee shop sipping lattes while it's working and I don't need to be there.
Just set it and it's done.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that. And I'm like, well, it's the future. It's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's once they go electric, then I suppose they can do a lot of things with it because the technology will be there.
Yeah.
And like you say, then everything will be even more automated.
Yeah.
And sensors, they might have sensors where, those little, I see it almost like, those little robotic vacuum cleaners and that. They've got sensors so they know where to stop, not to hit stuff.
Yep.
I imagine they can do that. And I imagine a lot of the mines and that have already got that stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen those things where the dump trucks reverse underneath with no driver, underneath the bucket of a machine and the machine loads it?
Yep.
There's no one even in anything.
Yeah.
So I imagine that concept will come to residential and rural jobs where it'll know there's a fence here, there's this there, and the machine will be able to just... I mean, we're probably far, far away from it, but, I reckon it's the future.
It won't be that far away, I don't think. Surely
Yeah.
not.
I know, man.
We're evolving and going pretty quick. Even down to lawnmowers as well. You were talking about vacuum cleaners, like lawnmowers. We've been a couple of jobs. We've set up rings around for the lawnmowers around in their backyards and all around their pool areas and stuff like that. It just yeah. And it's because people don't have time. You're working nearly every single day, and then to mow all your stuff and do all your chores as well.
Yeah.
You don't really have time, so it's going to save everyone a lot of time.
Yeah.
It'll take a bit to set it all up, but once you set up, it'll be, it should be good, I reckon.
I reckon it might go that way. I think with some things, I suppose, we're limited. If you're trenching and you're trenching around assets and this and that. You know, obviously you can't just set a robotic machine to that. But
The only other thing I'm thinking about as well, you know, especially like machines, the sound, like when you're in the machine, you can hear the sound of the machine straining,
yes,
or you can hear, because it's a feel thing too. So when you're in the machine, you can feel it. And you're like, oh, hang on a minute, is that a root or is that a cable? You're like, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And you can hear the revs, and it's a feel thing, and I think it's a transparent thing. When you've been doing it for years, it's definitely, it's in you. You know, you actually become one with the machine.
yeah,
And you're going to miss that. I reckon we're going to miss that because you won't have that oral sound that you
That's
can
true.
feel. Because I'm the feel, you know, I
Yes.
love to feel stuff. I'm like, when I hook something, I'm like, oh, is that a rock or is that like a root or something like that? I'm
yeah.
like, let's play the guessing game here. And
I think you're right. I think you're onto something because I'm the same as you. I do everything by feels and
Yeah.
sound,
Yeah.
and like as I'm digging, if I feel there's the machine's straining, I'm like, okay, we'll let that go. If there's a big rock under there, and I'm trying to yank it out, and it's not working. I'm like, all right, we'll let it go. We'll get the
Yeah.
ripper. But if it's electric, I don't know how it's gonna sound. Yeah, is it gonna give you those warnings? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, that's something
Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to consider. How would that affect your attachment? Probably not really. Yeah, like your
I wouldn't
attachment.
say so. No.
Because you can still use that attachment on an electric machine. Yeah.
Regardless, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
But yeah, we're going to have enough power to power all these electric.
I don't know, man. It's all, like, I wonder. As soon as everyone in summer turns all their aircon units on, the power can't.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't got enough power. Things start shutting down. So
That's
imagine
right.
once everyone's charging their machines.
Yeah.
And their cars.
Yeah.
And the aircons all running.
Power goes out. Not working tomorrow, boys. Sorry.
Yeah. Forgot to put the generator on,
She's
guys.
only got up to 20%. I only got 2 hours tomorrow.
Because how are they going to charge them if they're using the generator and
Yeah.
then someone forgets to fill it up, or everyone on site wants to use the same generator?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen, man? They're going to say take turns, or you can only charge for 6 hours, and it's your turn.
Yeah, yeah.
And then someone forgets to put it on charge, or it shuts down overnight. You get in the morning and you can't work. Then what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of factors, man. A lot of
Yeah.
factors. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that evolves.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good time to be in. It's going to keep us on our toes, that's for sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what happens to all the machines now? Like all the diesel
Yeah,
machines.
true.
What's going to happen, man? No one's going to buy them. What happens? Yeah, if they make a call, similar to cars, I suppose. If they make a call and say that's it, no, we're not making any more petrol or diesel cars. It's going to be the same with machines. So
Yeah.
will be the same process. And then people will be like stuck with these diesel machines that you can't even sell.
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's another consideration, man. What happens to all these machines? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and who knows? They might bring a law in for this, climate control and say no more diesel and
Yeah,
no more emissions. We got to go clean,
and then what?
and then cut it off, and then who knows?
And you've got a fleet of like 50 excavators, and then you get to convert to electric.
Yeah,
So then you got to go buy the electric ones, all that initial setup,
and then your other ones
you've
worth
still got
nothing
yeah. What do you do with the other ones?
because there's a surplus of them.
Yeah, and nobody wants to buy them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be very interesting, man. There's a lot more to it than just
yeah.
than what we think.
It's
Yeah,
true. Like you said, it's going to take some time. It'll take some time to get to that stage.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I never thought of that. It's going to be just like the car situation. Because I'm always like, what happens to our cars? Eventually, if they do stop petrol cars, what happens with all old cars? Yeah, what happens
Yeah.
to them? There you go. Well,
There you
you know what, Jake? Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for explaining what this product is. If anyone wants to get in touch with Jake, go to I&I Attachments on Instagram. And also, you mentioned the website earlier, but I'll put it all in the description as well, so people can find it. If there's something that you guys wanted me to ask and I didn't, send me a DM and I'll ask, man. We'll put it up, and that's it, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
All
Cheers,
right.
Owen.
See you guys. Catch
Thank
you on
you.
the next one.
Yeah,
For trucks, obviously. On the lot.
it became steel resistant.